I'm pulling this up so that everyone
Okay, now I
is
can see
visually
that
there,
shit.
right? But so there's a game called Phantom Brigade, and what this is this is from the folks who masterminded such things as Crypt of the Necrodancer.
What? Really?
And you're like, Crypt of the Necrodancer, that's a cool, fun, rhythm-based, dungeon crawling game.
Yeah.
What's Phantom Brigade? And Phantom Brigade is a bunch of robots and mecha fighting in cities doing what looks like RTS things.
This looks like the beginning of Gundam.
And
like
then
the very, very
we're
beginning of Gundam.
we're literally looking at robots defeating tanks.
In like a suburb.
In a suburb, exactly. And they are doing, you're seeing bits, when you see gameplay, you're seeing bits and pieces of, you're like, am I seeing some Into the Breach? Am I seeing some front mission? Am I seeing some Armored Core?
So
what are we looking at, right? Okay.
Tell me what it is now.
The reason why this game is so fucking sick is because it's cinematic turn-based mech mechanic tactics.
Okay, is this my front mission?
This is something else.
Okay.
You're getting your front mission. And you're getting your Into the Breach.
Okay.
You're getting your Armored Core parts and all that shit.
Yeah, that's also front mission.
Yeah, that's fine. You're getting your robots doing what they do.
I need to put an
on
arm on my robot.
Okay. Here's how you fucking play it.
How do you play it?
So one, rotate free camera, whatever.
I need to go wishlist this on Steam right now.
The enemies have a path of what they're going to be doing.
So that is very Into the Breach, yeah.
Okay. And from beginning to the end of the mission, this is what the enemies want to do.
Okay.
Depending on what you do at certain points, obviously they will have to change their minds because they have AI pathing.
But you get like let me try and get this in my head. Like you got a tank, and the tanks are going to be like, they want to blow up the school. Or
they're
whatever.
rolling through this area and they're on this path.
Got it.
To whatever, right? You get to see up to 5 seconds into the future of where they're going to be and what they're going to do.
Shut up.
This is not a next turn thing. This is literally the animation for 5 seconds of the future will play out. Okay? You see the timeline converge to the point where it ends at that 5 seconds.
Shut up.
You click on you see that, right? Got it. You got the information about the enemy.
Okay.
And what they're going to do. When you click on your unit, what would you expect to happen? You would expect to have
a
series
grid
of
actions
where you then click to go walk here and then attack that thing.
Fun Fancy Tactics.
That's not what happens.
Okay, what happened?
When you click on your unit, you get a fucking Adobe Premiere timeline at the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
And
now I'm really confused.
And within that 5 seconds of preview that you are aware of, you determine the actions of your robot by putting the movement timeline on it. You create waypoints so that you walk within that 5 seconds and do all the movement that you need to do.
So basically you see, hey, this tank is going to fire at this building, so that I can set my timeline so that I run in front of the bullet, take the hit,
shield it, and then dash backwards to another cover point.
Okay.
That's just your feet are on the Premiere timeline for the next 5 seconds. Say, move forward when this tank looks at this building. You and not that it's mainly not about the buildings though. It's
I know. I just used this example.
But you can do that and like go in front and then block it or whatever, and then move into cover here, right?
Okay.
Great. That's just your feet.
Yeah.
Now pick what your attack is going to be.
Yeah.
Pick when your attack is going to start within this 5 seconds and when it's going to end. So if you choose to start shooting at the tank before you get right in front of it, you're going to have less accurate shots from way back here.
Of course.
So you grab that fucking like attack, that 1.5 seconds of attack, you grab that and drag it forward on the timeline so that you only start shooting when you're point blank with the tank after taking the shot from it. So that is now, and then as you're retreating, keep shooting as well. So that is now your unit's play. And your second unit does the exact same thing or do whatever, and you position, and literally then you click execute, and then
the turn
and
plays.
Then time resumes.
Yeah.
It's not the turn plays. It's that time resumes, and then it slows down, and you see the next 5 seconds.
So I'm feeling I'm
fucking cool.
I'm feeling elements of like football on this, like playmaking.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But more than anything, I feel that the timing of this reveal and its spot in the world is. But how does it work, Woolie?
The best I.
But how does it work? I don't understand how it works. Does it erase time? Is it just? Are you just skipping?
The best I can explain.
It's the King Crimson Mech Simulator.
Is that you're not erasing time, you're interrupting it with what you think is perfect information, but it's not perfect information.
Yeah.
Because what happens is sometimes if like you shoot at a part and the treads of that tank go down, then that thing's not moving anymore.
Which will alter the
Or if it hits into your robot's leg, then you're fucking limping. And you can't move as fast as you would. Yeah. So the play you made where you drew your
now kind of break.
You drew your Madden line to say make a route up straight and then hook a left over here is not going to work because midway through this play you start limping. So you can make it halfway to that spot. Now what? Right? So time the interactions change as things go down.
So a Mangekyo Sharingan, this is not.
I mean. It is in the sense that it's showing you...
I can see Naruto's punches, robot.
I can see where the punches are going to go.
Yeah.
Where they're supposed to go.
Yeah.
And I can try to do something about it.
But then the instant you touch it...
It's not what it was.
There's a quote by... I think it's by Dale Dye. It's like, no plan ever survives contact with the enemy.
Yeah, sure.
Right? It's like, oh, man, I did it perfect. And then the instant, like, one errant... variable goes, like the whole thing falls apart like a house of cards.
So I'm reminded a lot of Transistor, and that's one of my favorite games of all time for that purpose as well, besides other things. But Transistor lets you see the line of action, and then you do the thing. This is more than just a line of action, and then like insert the attack line here and whatnot. You're looking at again the fucking Adobe Premiere play bar. Like you're looking at the non-linear editor.
All right.
You know, and then you're moving the things into place. And the level of mastery over how and when you do your actions and then how they play out means that you can just run and gun to finish the mission, but you can also create a super cinematic, stylish mecha battle that looks like a fucking episode of something.
Oh, yeah.
And that's actually literally what the dude said. He's like, yeah, that's my goal. Because at the end of the mission...
If you're playing it perfectly, it looks like a Gundam.
At the end of the mission, you play out the real-time battle.
Of course you do.
And then hopefully
the real-time battle is what, 3 minutes and 20 seconds?
Whatever the duration, and hopefully you get your dramatic camera cuts to like fucking look at shit.
This seems pretty great. This is a robot game about robot stuff. This seems like a fucking nerd game for dorks, which sounds awesome. So now let's talk mass appeal. Okay, which character is your little sister? And how big are her tits?
Well, you seem to be under the impression that this game is Japanese, when it is in fact not.
I'm saying it appeals to people who play Japanese games.
Okay, well, there was someone who trips and falls on a skateboard, and that kid gets saved by the robots, so maybe that's your emoto.
Okay, the skateboard.
Skateboard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My little sister can't possibly be this skateboard.
Be this constipated? You see that? Anyway.
No, you mean the hemorrhoid.
Whatever.
Yeah.
No,
not whatever. Learn it.
Phantom Brigade was the fucking sickest, and I was insanely excited as soon as because I walk by and I see robots in a hangar bay, and it's going through a bunch of parts. So I'm like, all right, you woolly baited me into stopping and looking at the video, right? Because I'm seeing all these parts.
Yeah.
And then the action starts, and then I see what's happening, and I'm like, I still don't. And then I sit down, and I get the spiel, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is your mecha.
Did they like see you walking by and were like, hey Woolie?
I think they saw me walking by and they started creating the game.
Oh yeah.
And then as soon as by the time I approached it, like the dev bar went.
Hey, when's this coming out?
So this is coming out a while from now.
That's what I thought.
This is earliest possibility
later.
2020.
Okay, so later.
So this is not this year.
Okay,
for sure.
Okay.
Very cool.
Spend the time on that. That looks dope, guys.
Yes.
Phantom Brigade.
Second thing that fucking blew me the fuck away.
That's a strong start.
Very, 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 very cool. Second thing that got me jonesing hard was I walked by a game called Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Uh-huh.
And this too is woolly baiting is becoming a clear and an obvious term these days.
Make sure to bait the woolly.
So I don't mind using it when appropriate. But Sayonara Wild Hearts from Annapurna, coming to Switch and coming to, I guess,
I think I saw a video about this.
is a fucking crazy-ass, trippy, like, res-like journey at times. Other times you're racing. A lot of the time you're just flying through a sick-ass world of flashy neon colors, and characters are simultaneously fighting and doing ballet with each other and spinning into motorcycle gang battles, and the motorcycle gang battles with henshins and transformations and the arcana.
You know what this
and
is?
Powers.
You know what this really is? This is a combination of those motorcycle shots from Akira and the figure skating, sliding down the highway bits from the Persona 5 introduction video.
The Persona 5 intro is playable, is a nice place to start.
Yeah.
Imagine while you're doing all of that exceptionally rad shit keeps happening around you, and the world keeps changing, and the enemies keep changing, and things are just going. Also, the music is great, and everything happening in the stage is directly tied to the music.
Great.
So it's completely rhythmic as well.
That's good.
God damn.
That looks nice.
This thing is fucking cool, and descriptions are not gonna sell you because you have to see it. It's a visual treat. That's Sayonara Wild Hearts. Just visually incredible.
Looks cool.
So, third thing that fucking got me, and this one for completely different purposes, but I was really enjoying my time.
What the fuck?
With Trover Saves the Universe.
Trover looks like a lemon grab style freakazoid.
This is from Squanch Games, formerly known as Squanch Tendo.
Wait a sec, created by Justin Roiland.
You know it.
There's a reason he looks like a fucking lemon grab style freakazoid.
So Squanch Games, aka formerly that other thing.
Yeah, whatever.
Is doing a bunch of weird stuff, and they decided to make one of their first games is Trover Saves the Universe, and it's VR, but it's also not VR.
Oh, good.
And it's Justin Roiland, so it's the Rick and Morty fucking crew doing their thing, and the voices are all there.
Justin Roiland might have the ability to make the most annoying character voice literally ever, and he has been using it well.
This game is just it's a game that is basically
What is it?
It's a funny VR game experience, but it's basically like, imagine if like Rick is describing a game to you through those the commercials where they improvise.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're playing one of those.
Okay.
You're playing a game that plays like one of those commercials in Rick and Morty.
I don't know about that. What?
Where you don't know what's going on, and they're just saying things, and as they're saying the things, they just start happening, and then as they're happening, like you're like, I guess we're doing it then. I guess it's just going.
So it's like a stream of consciousness, but it's a game.
And it's fucking exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly. It's like if you told me now that they improvised for like a few hours, and then that audio file got sent to a team who decided to create assets around it.
Yeah,
that's kind of what this was. Like the first thing that literally happens is you're staring at your little puppies, your little dogs, and they all look like the Summer. Where are my testicles?
Yeah,
they look like.
Oh yeah, Mr. Snuffles or whatever.
And then the dog, and they're doing their thing, and then like literally like then just this big weird bird thing grabs them that has no eyes, and then he shoves them in his eye sockets, and it's just like I'm so fucking evil. I got your puppies in my eyes, you stupid. Power, and it just like you're like, what are we doing, right? And it just like, he's like, fuck you, and then it goes away, and then you're like, and then you're in your house, and then it literally they're just spouting off bullshit and trying to write a game around the bullshit they're spouting. It's hilarious. I laughed super hard. And the game, it's like, who cares what the fucking game is?
Yeah, really.
It's what you're running around in a VR world and you're mashing something. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
It's stupid basic VR controls. It doesn't matter. It's fucking funny. I'm looking forward greatly to Trover Saves the Universe. That shit fucking... I was howling for a while.
I love that I could tell. I was able to tell just by like the shape of this thing's screaming mouth.
Yeah, and
that it was Justin Roiland.
Oh, and the weird like butt mouth thing that
Yeah.
happens where they go woo woo, like the weird
I don't like it.
three face, but it's not the cat version. It's just
I gotta catch up on Rick and Morty. Keep my IQ strong.
yeah. There's there you go. There's three W. There's a bunch of W faced characters that make that reaction. So. Fun was had. We got into the rest of the shit after that, and there's some fucking. We got some bangers. I spent an entire day with Samurai Shodown.
Yes. So I saw shit coming out from Samurai Shodown this weekend. Best described as "Don't Get Got," the game.
Yep. Sure.
And when we sat down, I said, Woolie, Samurai Shodown looks like a fucking Super Nintendo game from 1994.
Yep.
And you went...
That's correct.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't look like it.
No.
Because it looks like it. It looks like it in the sense that the play of this game and and what's happening and the damage and everything looks like an old school Samurai Shodown. I'm like, yeah, this is Samurai Shodown 2.
Okay, so we're done playing Endless Waltz for the day, and let's just switch over to
Sam Show 2
Yeah.
is what this is.
Don't get counter hit.
Yeah. Obviously, right? Like, just that's the first thing that comes to mind is just how devastating the damage is, which it has always been.
Yeah.
Right? But this has like the added modern things such as like comeback mechanics that get worked in and like other bits that just melt your life depending on what you tried to do and how you failed at it.
So the thing that caused this game to like shift in its perception among the general populace, that those that saw it, was when somebody got a hold of it and discovered that the game has like no throw teching of any kind. Don't get thrown.
And there's a lot of command grabs, but is there?
That's what I saw. It's that you can't tech throws. Period.
I'm not sure about that.
Oh, now I'm disappointed if that's not true.
I'm not sure about that one.
I want to live in a world where no one can tech my throws.
Regular throws in this game, however, are all Karakusas. So
okay.
A throw in this game is not like get grabbed and damaged. A throw is I grab you and I shove you back. It's called a guard break.
Okay.
Because you just stumble a little bit and you get opened up for something, right?
People are saying that throws can't be teched.
Okay. No. Well, possibly I guess you throw dodges out then to avoid.
Yeah,
them.
that's people are saying you dodge throws, you don't tech them.
Okay. Well, what we're doing is...
Oh, man, Jubei's back. I like Jubei.
What we're doing is... Yeah, Jubei's really cool. You're looking at... So, yeah, you're looking at something that feels a lot like Samurai Shodown 2. You're looking at... pretty... Yeah, like, it looks good. It looks good. It looks a lot better than King of Fighters 14.
Hell yeah, it does.
And...
this looks like a real video game for humans.
And at the panel, the question was asked, like, why is that? You know? And they kind of went, yeah, more time in the oven.
So maybe KOF 15 will look like this?
So, I don't want to... I can't say shit about KOF 15. I don't know what the fuck that's going to be. But
I'm just saying.
Everything I expect and hope for with Samurai Shodown, for me, which is a lot of it is like, I hope it's a lot like 4, because that's the one I know. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are like, I like 2, and some people are like,
everyone's
I like 5 special. It's there. It's got that vibe to it. The timing feels right. There's slowdown at certain moments that is like, oh, that's exactly where the slowdown is supposed to be. At the top of...
Whoa, Earthquake looks nuts.
At the top of Genjuro's DP, the game should slow down.
Yeah.
You know? There is... a lot of like wild things that I kind of like the lightning blade, right, is the big one where that's the mechanic of your POW builds up as you get hit, as you do damage and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you activate it for your rage burst. What happens then is certain moves get better. Mm-hmm. And you can tap it again to do a lightning blade, which is where the screen goes red and you slash across the screen, and if they're doing anything,
If you counter hit with that,
you are losing. It depends on when it was used, but at lowest scaled, you're losing maybe 15 to 20%.
okay.
At highest
Like on a
unscaled,
pure raw hit.
80.
Nice.
80.
This is a system that works well for Pat and his wake up super lifestyle.
So you better be making the right decisions. This is not about combos.
I'm watching gameplay footage. This is a proper throwback.
This is you try to get the right swing in at the right time. You try to footsie.
This is zoning and counter hits.
You footsie and then you react. You do not try to do anything that like goes on and on and on, because hits are very, very brief and basic. Cancels are like one hit, one button into one move, you know?
So it's funny because this is very, like, as far as fighting games go, this is probably about as accessible as it'll be outside of like Smash in terms of like, yeah, I'm not seeing combos.
No,
right?
this is decision making.
But it's also like extra crazy vicious.
Yeah, and you're gonna get rocked if you fucking make bad decisions.
Yeah.
You know? So
it feels like the more you tone down a game's like mechanical complexity, the meaner you make it.
Can be. There's still like inputs that are SNK inputs in these games. So
sure. You gotta have them. You gotta have them.
In fact, there's a universal super that everyone has, and there's no bar attached to it. It's simply you get 1 per set.
Okay.
And it is or per match, I should say. And it is like forward, half circle, forward, B and C, or rather C and D.
Yeah, okay, that's a good old Guilty Gear.
And then everyone gets a big super off of that. You can do it anytime, no matter what.
You get 1,
and you get one. It does a lot of damage, and those are the yellow background supers. You get 1, but the startup is so incredibly slow that you will never confirm it in any way.
So it is used on
styling and mistakes.
Okay.
The lightning blade,
wake up super for life.
The lightning blade I described, you can confirm by doing the throw I previously described,
yeah,
where you toss them back.
But
and
then
it
scales it.
Then it scales it.
No, you want to hit that raw.
Well, I mean, it depends if you react to what you see. You know, don't get baited. So I have some footage I recorded.
says it's always better to hit it raw.
I recorded some footage with the developers playing some matches against me. I had some good times. We talked about some SNK stuff, and like they're like, "Oh, what characters would you want to see?" Kind of coming back, and I was like, how about that fucking Afro Samurai? I think Jay from Samurai Shodown Sen. How about that? Then they're like, "Oh, yeah, Sen." Right. Yeah, and I was like, how about President Andrew Jackson from 5 and 5 Special, or that came later, or rather 6 rather.
Yeah.
Who does the fucking eagle round and then turns it into a burning eagle? Like, I want that shit.
Yeah.
But in any case, right now, so they've announced 13 returning characters and 3 new ones. The first of which was revealed live in front of me.
Looks cool.
Straight to me.
Yes, to you.
Straight to me.
That's your Monster Hunter character.
They revealed.
I'm not even joking. That is straight up your Monster Hunter character.
Darlie Dagger, the purple dread-headed giant chainsaw blade wielding jacked female look-alike. What a fucking beast of a pick. So the woolly bait continues. Darlie Dagger looks great.
You've had a good run the past week or two.
Good run. Good week for woolly bait. Good week.
Now that means something bad's gonna happen.
Probably. So, don't jinx it. So that's that. I'm gonna put the footage up, and I'm gonna do some more in-depth impressions later.
I'm looking at footage here on the screen Willie's got. This looks so old school. I almost can't believe it.
Yeah.
This looks like a Super Nintendo game.
They really want it to feel and look like. Well, they want it to look like woodblock prints. But they want the pacing of the game to be deliberately old school.
The one that gets me is that how Maru does his Shoryuken. And he carries Earthquake up in the air, and then Hamaru keeps going and he keeps going,
All the
and then
way out.
it hits, and they're in the air, and then he slowly falls back down, and then Earthquake's kind of on the ground,
Yeah.
and then he and like the whole thing is like a single hit, and it's like 5 seconds.
Dude, the fucking sound clips of the referee might as well be the ones from Samurai Shodown 2 on the SNES. It's like they sound identical, if not for like the lack of tinniness when he goes fucking, he's a Jinjoni Shobu. Like it's exactly the same, you know? So that's all there. And look forward to it. I will be like doing a more in-depth video with footage of my matches where some fun stuff happened a bit later on WoolieVersus, and I'll go more into depth with
So now that you've had hands-on with this game, are you excited to see it at EVO?
Yeah, and I'm the concerns of it possibly being a bad game that we just don't know anything about are not there anymore because I've confirmed that it's a good, fun game.
I'm actually this everything to do with the counter system and the way that throws work makes me actually really, really excited to watch this.
Yeah.
Like a game in which you can get an 80% like round reset off of a counter hit is like wild.
The truth of the matter is that Samurai Shodown has always been good. It's just been dead for a long time.
It's been deader for longer than it was alive.
So, yeah, like 1, 2, 3, like 4 all came out like relatively close to each other, and then you just had that fucking gap, and then Sen, and then you had 64. And shoutouts to the other 3D one, Warriors Rage, because hey, Shiki's back. Right? We didn't get much, but we got Shiki out of it. So she stuck around. They realized they had gold on her hands. All right. Anyway, Samurai Shodown's great. Stopped by the like with a keen peeled eye. I fucking kept a lookout for other fighting games, and I saw Metal Revolution, the game I took a look at on my channel, which is the Rising Thunder similar kind of robot fighter. And
Robot.
These are the ones wearing clothes. Right? And
you know, I didn't actually get a look at it when you played it. Wow, they look way better when they're wearing clothes.
You like robots wearing clothes?
Yeah, I think it's a really classy look.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I think it's splitting the difference between how, you know how we heard people saying, yeah, Rising Thunder looks fun, but I don't care about the characters because the robots are like not my thing or whatever. Yeah. And I got really sad at that because they're like, oh, people just care more about humans. Then
yes, people tend to care more about humans.
No, but I like, of course people care more about humans, but I really didn't realize how much people didn't care about robots.
The robot types in Rising Thunder were a little, I want to say round. Like that kind of look.
I dug
like
it.
That
they
kind
look
of
like
Iron
toys.
Giant look.
They look like toys.
Like people tend to like angles more.
So yeah, I got to play this. The new build, lots of changes with like how they're going about things with the characters, some tweaks, some balances and whatnot. It's, you know, there's some stuff that's quite different. I kind of got some matches in with Dev there as well, and yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that's interesting that I like. I like what's going on. Definitely one thing that was better was like the level of input delay and the feeling of like underwater lagginess was better this time around because of not being online and this being a local environment where you could like properly play the build as intended. And with that, I was like, so this is going to be offline local? And they're like, yes, it's going to have offline local. So I'm like, the number one worry was that this would be an online only thing. But thankfully, they've confirmed that it will have like normal.
That being said, netcode will obviously improve over time.
One would assume and hope and whatnot.
Because like Wool's like, it's this thing. I hate to be the dead horse, but like, yes, of course, every fighting game needs offline local. But 99% of people are never going to play a fighting game offline local anymore. Right.
A large number, maybe not 99, but yes, a large number.
A large proportion, and we can argue over what that proportion is.
But the majority, it matters way more than what the netcode's doing. I know.
And it's a weird situation, because you're right. Of course you're right. But, like, because, like, you saying that, it's like, oh, thank goodness it's not that online, made me go, oh. Should I?
Well, because the first build I had didn't, like, it had it in there and whatnot, but like it was like you had to sign in, and it was very like kept behind are you online and signed in thing. Where I'm like, I kind of just want to start and play. But anyway, gameplay is still very, very basic in terms of like like normals and buttons and whatnot. But yeah, I had some fun matches, and there's some interesting things there. So I can hope to it's like it's still in the oven. Potential's there. Designs are cool.
I think robots wearing pants is a cool future we should embrace.
Sure, I'm all about it. Miyamoto Ren is like the robot with the fucking tilted triad looking outfit. He's got like a little suit on, and I'm like, I'm all about it. I'm like, yeah, like make your guy look like a cool stylish triad robot with fashion, why not? Anyway, so
I think Warframe should add pants.
You put human clothes on all that shit. Hell yeah. Anyway, so that thing's coming along, and still a ways to go. Still got like I said, some. I think like I would prefer if like the auto combo system wasn't kind of like one of the only ways to really get in there and do damage. I like having pokes, and I like having options with how I want to go through my combo routes. But beyond that, there's some interesting stuff that we'll see how it shapes up. The options for having games like this and Fantasy Strike and just these like sort of execution light, decision heavy games is like growing wider and wider every day.
I'm glad.
There you go. I went to play Biomutant. I got
you got a
hands on with Biomutant.
How's the Biomutant?
It's okay.
That's what I thought.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
It
could never live up to Biomutant.
Yeah, it was, like you kind of just ran around and did the beginning thing, and like clearly the whole like evolve and make weird things happen and pop out of you stuff. Like it's almost like there's another game that came along that has that going even more hardcore right now. But what's fun about this is like the narration is kind of doing a little bit of a Bastion thing. Not that it's predicting or reacting to your future decisions as much as it is just like constantly present and sort of having fun with you as you go through it. So narration from the moment you press start going forward is in an interesting way.
About the Biomutant.
Yeah, and whatnot. And you choose what kind of weird creature you want to be and what kind of fur level you want to grow. You want to grow deep fur?
Yeah.
Or the loose fur, How you want to rep that?
What? Oh, I didn't know you could alter your Biomutant.
And then you pick up your gun and your melee, and you can, like I picked up some charge fucking punch things that like you charge them for a couple seconds, and then you do like a short little bionic arm type thing, and things go flying. And I was like, I like that. I'll use that for a bit. But yeah, it was exactly what it looks like. Combat kind of was just like, okay, sure, this is fine. There was a big boss fight as well that was just a big monster, and you just wailed on it for a while, and it would just kind of run in lines, and so anyway, I didn't see anything that blew me the fuck away about it, but the premise and the initial art were all what most people. I think
it's like it's kind of trapped because like you're looking at the Steam page, and in the upper right corner of the Steam page is the word Biomutant with like a raccoon freakazoid with a sword,
raccoon guts,
and like, damn, right? Like it's tough to live up to just that photo of a pitch.
Yeah. It kind of plays a little.
It's German, right?
Might be.
Plays. Then you say Biomutant with like a weird German accent.
Biomutant.
Yeah, like oh man.
But what I saw was gameplay wise was a little more generic than I was hoping.
Yeah, so. I saw footage of it a while ago, and it was like,
do you need a beverage?
I need many beverages.
You want me to get one? You want to go get one?
I'll get one.
Okay, you go.
I'll get one.
All right, do your thing. So the next thing I took a look at was Man of Medan, or Man of Medan. I don't know how to say it. I'm gonna
go with Medan.
Man of Medan. I'm gonna follow your lead. I don't know. Man of Medan is the supermassive game from the Dark Trilogy, if you might recall, when they announced what they were doing after Until Dawn. It was about those kids on the boat. Remember the thing with the kids on the boat?
Oh, the kids on the boat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the kids on the boat.
Yeah. So
Adam's there. So get to the back of the boat.
So the whole thing was basically...
That's all I got.
It was like a quick slice of like a scary part where you're playing as that main girl with the red shirt, and you're walking around in a haunted boat, and there's some motherfucker who's trying to hold you hostage, and scary spooks.
You ever see Ghost Ship?
No.
That movie sucks.
Probably.
But it's about a ghost ship.
Probably. So, for what it's worth,
coming from?
The actual trailer.
Oh, it's actually playing.
Yeah. So, the actual trailer and whatnot, like, so what I could tell from this, I'm very excited because I fucking loved Until Dawn.
Until Dawn was a fucking triumph of that type of game.
Yeah. So what this seems to be is just exactly more of that with different assets.
But with a ghost ship.
Different assets.
But then it's not
same
ghosts.
They're zombos.
But then it's not zombos.
I hope so.
Right?
Because what happened
That's the best part of
the bits.
Until Dawn.
So the end of the trailer is like all the stuff that I played right here. And it appears to just be weird water zombos.
Yeah.
But, like, that's it.
But it's not zombos, actually. It's a ghost.
Yeah. So
Something.
So the twist can save that. But the premise right off the bat is kind of just like, okay, well...
It was all... Okay, yeah, that's a ghost. I saw a ghost at the end of that trailer.
Zombos.
That was a ghost.
What is funny to watch is like so it's got the really you know how like everyone in Until Dawn has the Until Dawn face where they go like
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The test face. Yeah.
And so like that's happening a whole bunch and I think it was just like kind of early, so the lip syncs were a bit off for now, but for the most part we are getting more Until Dawn with other kids trying to survive being killed by other things.
I'm glad.
It is delivering.
That's a genre we need more of in video games.
Yeah, it is delivering on the promise of what they brought you last time.
Oh no, don't murder me.
And then the scraping against the walls instead of going to where the light tells you to might net you something nice, like a fucking knife. You know, like a bat from Until Dawn.
What if having the bat is bad?
Well, in this case, having the knife would good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But what if though?
So, one of the speaking, and then like. Something that fucking has me forever is Space Channel 5. So when I heard that the VR experience was many people saw, because I got.
That's weird.
Seconds
I
after
find
it
that
happened.
really bizarre.
Seconds after it happened, I played the Space Channel 5 VR game, and someone caught footage of me dancing and doing the moves. And it went on Twitter, and I was like, "My like
that makes me never want to fucking put on a VR headset
in a public environment. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Cause like, what if I took off the VR headset and instead of a camera, someone just had their penis out?
Yeah, you can't.
You don't know.
You can't control what's happening in the world around you when that headset's on.
Yeah.
And the audio that would like be like the jingling of the pants and the zipper that would clue you off.
Yeah.
You can't hear that either.
No, I have AirPods in. I
So,
can't hear it behind me.
In any case, I retweeted it because what else?
I know.
What else?
What are you gonna do? You gonna pretend that didn't happen?
Ulala is back, and her swinging report show is doing what it does. And the only difference this time around is that you're standing next to her, and you have to move your body in all the directions to emulate the poses to do the
move your body.
up, down, left, right, shoot.
Space Channel 5 is awesome because it's a really short game that was a terrible value, but it's so fucking zany and cool that everybody loves it.
And the music is great, and it's a fun time, so we all love it.
Yeah.
I will never not think about that.
That walk is like I'm watching Ulala do her fucking
her strut. Her strut.
That is Space Channel 5 to me.
And the acapella final boss fight is one of the best, most fun things. I love it so much because you stop all the music, but the music is in our hearts, man.
Oh damn, dude.
Ba-ba-da. Yeah. So anyway, guess what? Moving your body into the positions to do the rhythm moves, way harder than doing it with a fucking button.
Yeah?
Way harder.
Wow.
And the
I am shocked.
the cameras were in place. You either weren't in the right place, or they didn't like something they were seeing. But some
not seeing.
But some of my gestures were not reading,
and
I was having technical trouble.
That's the biggest problem I have with the VR stuff, which is not the VR stuff. It's actually the motion stuff.
Yeah.
I was never once, when I got PlayStation VR back in my old apartment, I haven't tried it in the new place. And honestly, I don't know where my PlayStation VR is, or even if it's fit to use, because I think it's been sitting in the bottom of a box for like 2 years or whatever, right? I was never able to get it synced up to like my location properly once. Like,
well, here's the other thing too. We have similar setups where they expect your camera to be way closer to you than where your TV is to you.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you've tried it, but if you ever pull it back out, put a chair in between the two of you or a little stool.
And I have a coffee table now that like can't move. It's too big.
Put the camera on that instead and try it out.
If I got a VR setup at this point, I have my own basement that I can install shit into. I would just get a Vive or whatever like just install that shit.
So
into
the fortunate part is that both the Vive and Oculus, which are rolling out their free, not free, they're they're self-contained units.
Yeah.
Right. So there's that anyway, where it doesn't matter if it's where you buy the TV or not.
Yeah.
But the PSVR still has the old requirements, and the new ones don't have that. So that's something that.
And also, Valve is making their own VR thing.
There you go. Right. So
it's probably going to come integrated with Source Filmmaker for directing purposes.
Yep. There you go. So this game is great on paper. I'm excited on paper for
as long as it works
for this, but please make the gestures work. Because I was having problems and whatnot, but I still cleared it and it was fine. I swang by the Mega 64 booth, said what's up to the boys and girls, and Rocco as cool as ever. They hung in there, and it was really funny. And I was just like, I'm there doing the thing that everyone does with us, where it's just kind of like, hey, how's it going? Hey, and the like just that like, oh man, like. These guys are like, we'll never be Mega 64. They're just the best. They've been there forever. And like, for some reason, they just don't have the amount of views and follows that you expect.
Despite being prolific and amazing.
And yeah, so when people were talking about the Telltale influence thing today, this week, based on me telling that story, I'm like, they're that times a million. Because Mega 64 has way more influence and way more direct connections to really good shit from the industry. And people know them inside and they've done so much. And yet somehow just don't have the legions of followers and views that you would expect. And it's kind of insane to me that that's the case. Because goddamn Mega 64 is the fucking best. Like there's almost a bit of like a thing where I was like, okay, so I want to grab this sweater and some of their merch because their merch is fucking great.
Yes, it is.
And dude was just kind of like, hey, dude, just take it. Like, what's up? How you guys doing?
And then you're like, yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, he remembers.
Influence.
He remembers. But the funny part
sounds like somebody hasn't acclimated into their influence role yet.
The funniest part about that, and I got the vibe that this probably happened with everyone else, is when December went down and the final video went out and things were all like shitty. It sounds like one of the things that happened is everyone else that had like just a video game group,
that's right,
just got inundated with a ton of people going like, are you guys okay? And it's like, yeah, why wouldn't we be?
Why?
Oh god, because and it was just a very funny like, oh shit, like the fear just boiled over to other groups, so that like kind of funny and any I don't know, any other like similar to Zaibatsu style groups had a bunch of like panic about like, oh my god, is anything happening where you're gonna end it too, or is something going wrong? I was like, no, I think it's just best friends.
I think I had what might actually be a more bizarre experience than that. I was running errands the other day, and in a part of town I don't usually go to, and then I ran into a guy I have not seen in 5 years that I used to work with at the grocery store. He goes, oh, hey man, you doing all right? I went, why? Well, I heard about the channel.
Huh.
And I went,
wow.
The channel that I never spoke to you once about, because it was a fledgling side project, and then I never saw you. I was like, yeah, oh, cool, yeah, you're streaming. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
Yeah. I think a bunch of
That was really weird.
dude, a bunch of people we know in real life that like are that we've known before any of this stuff are definitely like tangentially aware and up to date on certain things. Not that they'd ever let you know it.
Yeah.
But there's definitely that to some degree. And it's always like, oh shit, hey, cool, that's flattering. That's fun to know that you know. But that whole thing was just really funny because it's like there's no cause for it, there's no logic behind it, but there's just a fear that like other groups might all like Giant Bomb ending? And it's like, no, nothing happened, it's okay.
No, Giant Bomb ended years ago when Ryan passed away.
Well, that is
I'm sorry for getting too real just now.
Wow.
I kind of got very sad in my heart.
wow. I am off the fucking rails trying to figure out how to get back on. Okay. Did you really have to bust out a level 4 super just in the middle of the fucking conversation? That is the oof of the century.
Yeah, it is. I still think Vinny shouldn't have moved out east, but I mean, he's got to do what he's got to do.
Fuck. Okay, well, anyway, Cyber Shadow is the game that Yacht Club is now pushing as the new thing they're going to be publishing. And it was really cool because their booth was pretty busy with everyone checking out Shovel Knight Showdown. And like...
This looks like Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, and I was able to play on the personal Switch over there
Just switched now, huh?
I don't know if it's just Switch, but anyway, the personal Yacht Club Switch was there, and the creator of Cyber Shadow was there, and like I remember there's an article that just came out today that was almost like this crossover didn't happen or almost didn't happen, but then they went like we wooed him in and we whispered sweet nothings and like little sugars in his honey syrups in his ear or whatever.
What the fuck are you talking
There's
about?
a saying for how you pour fucking
you drip honey into
honeyed
ears.
Honey dick. They honey dicked him. They honey dicked Cyber Shadow.
They dicked their honey.
They honey dicked the Cyber
And
Shadow.
then they smeared the... You know what? Whenever I think about putting on a VR headset, that's what I'm actually worried about.
Getting honey dicked?
I'm worried that right before the show started, the employee that was working at it thought it would be funny and just smeared their balls and dick all over every part of the screen and thing, and that's how you get pink eye.
Cyber Shadow.
That's what I'm worried about.
Cyber Shadow was basically, or is, a game that upon first glance you're like, that reminds me of The Messenger because it's a classic Ninja Gaiden style Ninja Nest looking thing. And then you play it and you're like, no, they're not the same. Cyber Shadow is a very cool progress.
It's also a little stridery.
Yes.
Like for the NES.
Yes, progress and get your power-ups. And it just, you know what? In the Shovel Knight way, it's mechanically simple, but it just feels good.
It looks great, too.
And a lot of what you're doing is just like precision-based platforming, precision-based attacking, and reacting to enemy patterns that are like tricky sometimes and taking you fucking by surprise, and they're great.
Also, the main character is a robot ninja, and that's cool.
Yes.
I like robot
The
ninja.
sprites, the backgrounds in particular, are gorgeous.
Is Sekiro a cyborg?
No, he's a man with a prosthetic arm.
Yeah, okay. Because it's not machinery. It's not technology. It's machinery. Yeah.
The gears and winds and it's mechanical, but yes. Anyway, so the Cyber Shadow is looking really, really tight, really, really clean, and it looks just in the same way. Like I said, like it's a very similar to Shovel Knight, like beautiful, classic capturing of an era, painfully accurate to that era.
There's a really good video on Game Maker's Toolkit by Mark Brown
about how Shovel Knight refusing to cheat.
How Shovel Knight refuses to cheat, but then also cheats.
Yes,
because it is attempting to evoke the memory.
Feeling. Yes, it's about the feeling of the classics.
And it's like, you can't put these many fucking horizontal sprites without the game breaking. Fuck you, Shovel Knight, you lie, right?
And then it's like,
but you don't remember that bullshit.
But we can get that intentional slowdown just to make it feel like, oh, there's too much going on here. You're like, yes, they're masters at that. So yeah, man, I had a lot of fun with that brief demo. And there was no real power-ups either in it. It was very simple.
Really?
Yeah, it was just the basic controls. But like, I'm like, cool. There's room for that and for Messenger, which also has some DLC, free DLC coming out. Messenger Picnic Panic was there.
That is not what that is the last thing that I expected.
Exactly. Messenger Picnic Panic, free DLC coming out, involving like boss fights of fight a giant octopus.
Free loadable content.
There you go. So the Keita Takahashi Jan was in there. Wattam, which we saw teased on stage.
I remember hearing that this is kind of like Nobi Nobi Boy.
It's very much like Nobi Nobi Boy, in that it's not a game as much as it is a toy.
So it's a bunch of weird bullshit.
Bunch of weird characters. They're running around an area. You can take control of any of them at any time. They all have unique actions, and they all interact with each other in particular ways. And most of them just lay out little shits.
All right.
They can all make little poops.
Yeah, it does sound a lot like Nobi Nobi Boy.
You can then control the characters that get pooped out, and the little poops become their own characters. And then you can stack the poops on top of each other. Or not.
Or eat them.
You can eat the poops as well.
You eat the poo.
And then you just kind of play and you interact and stack together. And then as you do in your interactions and your stacking, bigger and more weird worlds and characters show up. And they ask you to do different things.
And then eat the poo-poo.
Eat the poo-poo. The Wattam eat the poo-poo.
Wattam eat the poo.
Keita Takahashi says eat the poo-poo. It's a toy. It was fun. It's, children will love it.
Every time I hear that, I try not to lose it.
Speaking of losing it, my friend Pedro, not my actual friend Pedro, but the name of the game is My Friend Pedro, which you might remember because it was that Devolver game with the slow-motion bullet festival.
Yes, and bananas.
Yeah, so basically you're a crazy person, and you are, but you're a crazy person, and a banana is talking to you.
It says kill.
And it says yeah, exactly.
Oh.
It's the whatchamacallit, the leprechaun on
Ralph's shoulder.
On Ralph's shoulder.
There you go.
This game is really, really crazy with the slow motion bullet psycho festival action, and the twisting and the dodging and whatnot is really fun to do. Slow motion as well is very generous, so it makes it feel really cool. The thing about it is when you're in the middle of all these stylish moments like the trailer shows you, your brain has so much gymnastics to go through because they introduced one button that made the whole thing fucking go haywire, which is hold I want to say RT or RB to lock where you're shooting in with your first gun, and then free stick aim with your second. And just that,
all right, this is
just that alone made my brain go, oh, okay. Like if I could shoot, like, because dodging and shooting and rolling and kicking and doing all that in one line of shot direction is fine, but reconfiguring where the twosome time is happening, moment to moment, is a lot. And all that stylish shit you're seeing is not as easy as it actually looks.
I see.
So, yeah. This is a game that I think is going to it's going to make you feel really stylish. And it's a Devolver fucking thing. You're like, there's a reason why, But, it's Gunslinger, the platformer.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
So, there you go.
I'm seeing that.
So that was coming out in a couple months' time, actually. I want to say it's coming out in the summer. Yeah, June. There you go.
That's nice.
Okay, let's move along. After Party is a game where you are literally, it's just like almost like seems to be just like a fucking point and click, type of game, classic style. You are a bunch of kids, like hipstery, and you're walking around hipster hell.
Oh, I recognize this art style. This is Oxenfree.
Okay.
Yeah, this is probably by the people who did Oxenfree.
It's not exactly hipsters. It's more just kind of like.
Not everything's hipster now.
No. It's millennial party.
You heard me.
It's not.
Yeah.
Not everything is hipster. You're right.
Whatever.
But I put it out there just so that you get the right area of category, and then I'll pare it down and say not actually hipster, just like millennial party themed, you know. And it's millennial party themed hell, and everyone is, as you can see, they're on.
That does seem like hell.
Yeah, and you're walking around actual hell where everyone's got an Instagram account.
Okay.
And
this makes me want to die.
And you walk around and talk, and you play beer pong with demons.
Okay.
The dialogue is witty.
I'm vomiting.
The dialogue is witty.
Is it millennial witty?
And the whole deal is to if you want to get out of hell, you gotta out party Satan.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
I'm throwing up.
It's called After Party.
Cool. Are we millennials?
Us?
Yeah.
Yes. You're in there. Are you one of those people clicking on those articles about how dumb millennials are and feeling good about yourself?
No.
Because you're one of them.
I just feel out of touch and very old all the time.
You should. You feel the way you look.
I
mean, it's not a burn if it's just true.
I'll remember that justification for later.
Oh boy! All right, so Indivisible, latest backer demo went up, and they had that there. And
come out already! I want to play it.
Yeah, I know, dude. It's so good. It's so good. Like, I know there's very little to say except it's like played more Indivisible. There was more characters in this world that may or may not be in that final or whatever. And you could go into the Ajna's inner palace. Yeah. Her mental palace.
I have stayed away from almost everything about this game.
It's fucking fun, man.
You know what?
The battle system is so much fun.
You know what the number one thing that I know about this game is? Is Magama going to trade shows and doing infinites on new enemy types?
Sure. Getting used to how to juggle and get your combos going and using what when, you know, and like timing your blocks and parries perfectly is just like, yeah, it's, you know what it is? You know how the thing that you used to hate about Marvel was like how to use assists? Yeah. This is assists the game. And this forces you to get good at assists. So if you have any love in you for like hyper fighters like Marvel and whatnot and the combo juggling potential of assists.
I thought this was an RPG.
Yeah, and also Valkyrie Profile and stuff. Then yes,
use that when you talk to me.
Yes, Valkyrie Profile and also Tales of games and the juggling combo systems.
Yeah, all right.
Those are in there too.
This is working better.
Those are in there too. Those are great. That's great. It's really fun. But from the fighting game people that brought you Skullgirls,
losing me again,
comes the fighting game aspects in which it's really fun to call in your assists and have them juggle and play together. So, and you're using meter and bar and choosing when to use it. And some of them, in a lot of cases, you're just installing. So Indivisible's shaping up real nice.
Can you do a 28-hit combo like
easily?
No.
Easily. 28 is nothing.
Is there a death blow system like in Xenogears?
I don't know about that.
Okay. I know you don't.
I don't know if you can do a Nibelung Valesti, but you know, Indivisible is shaping up real nice. The check-in is I could the wait for Bloodstained was too long, and it was the same line for both. And it's like, pick one. And I'm like, well,
I mean, yeah.
I already did.
Yeah. But also, even then, like, Bloodstain is like, you touch it, and you're like, yeah, this is what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Right? Like...
Cutest Dungeon.
Okay.
Mistover is the name of the game.
All right.
Heavily inspired by Darkest Dungeon, if you can't tell.
Okay. I can't, because I've seen nothing so far.
Okay, well, it's called Mistover, and a bunch of...
Explore that mist.
A bunch of cute anime-type characters in chibi proportion.
That's correct.
But they're lit like Darkest Dungeon characters.
Yeah.
Go through a map.
It's kind of Etrian Odyssey-ish, but not...
That is Etrian Odyssey-ish, exactly. It's not just a straight line like Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah.
But and battles are also not just a straight line. They're like on a
grid.
On a grid.
Yeah.
But there's Darkest Dungeon interactions happening constantly, and states and hunger.
Horrible things happen to your cute animes.
Exactly, and it's very easy to die.
No, not my cute animes.
And you got to find your way out of the dungeon, and whatever, and it's cute, but it's a dungeon.
Oh,
and
man.
make your way out. And this game was when you beat it or you survive or whatever, you take a screenshot over to the desk and show them, and then you get the rewards. And people were lined up at
anime
this
doll?
all day.
One of them anime dolls.
People were lined up at this shit all fucking day to try and get that merch.
Oh, I need my anime doll.
But there you go. That's what that will be. Yeah, cutest dungeon. If you thought Darkest Dungeon was cool, but you wanted it a little bit more adorbs, and you wanted your paladin to be like a twin tail
That mod's
tsundere.
that's there. You know it's
Yeah,
there.
Shindal did his work. It's true. But you know what I mean. I'm saying you can also do it in this other thing, and that's what they're doing.
I feel like that's an entire subgenre, which is existing thing, but what if cute anime?
But what if cute anime? Yeah. But the changes to the format and genre and battle system and whatnot are the ones where I'm like, that strays further away because I actually like the
From
line.
God's Light?
Yes, because I like the line of Darkest Dungeon, and I like moving in that linear way, and I enjoy that setup way more than I enjoyed the grid.
But also, you enjoy anime more than those other things.
That's not true.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I do enjoy.
Which one of those animes is your little sister?
This
one.
The new big fat guy from Windjammers 2.
Oh, man.
Windjammers 2. Got to touch that for a little bit.
Yeah. Did you jam some wind?
I did. So 2 old characters, 2 new characters. German guy is back and he's got a mustache.
Is that... Are you serious?
Yeah, and then...
Was that the motherfucking Olympic Stadium?
I mean, it wasn't, but yes, it was. We were looking at the trailer for Windjammers 2, in which the cyber future Olympic Stadium has a massive explosion going down. The developers of this game are from France, so I don't know why.
Why are they making fun of us?
There's some people on their team that are from Montreal, though, so that would explain it. Maybe the people drawing this thing.
That is fucking...
We just saw the Olympic Stadium in the trailer.
That fucking piece of shit.
Anyway... yeah, so this trailer doesn't show off gameplay, it just shows you anime stuff happening.
Yeah, anime.
But actual Windjammers 2 gameplay, it looks a lot like Windjammers.
Yeah?
Except the sprites are hand-drawn and not pixelated, but like smooth in that way.
That's good.
Kind of looks like the Streets of Rage 4 stuff.
Okay.
Very similar to, And new mechanics are very interesting. There's like fucking some crazy ass like super jumps, and there's some crazy ass whatchamacallit. There's super jumps. There's a deflect where it's like the fastest way to send it back would be to hold the button down and like before it arrives and before you don't even catch it, you just slap it back right away, but you can't move while you're charging that button. So you have to commit to the place you're standing, believing that it's gonna come there. Yeah. It's a dangerous thing to do, but the rewards are high. And then while you do all this, you build meter.
Wow.
And meter has supers, and you can do the supers now, but you can do it by just spending that meter right away. So it doesn't always have to be done with a tap up, because usually you tap it into the air and go right on,
right?
Supersonic shoot, and now you can just grab and do it. So this game has a few quality of life additions and like one system change. And those things are going to almost ensure it as an esport.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just depends on how many people are willing to put their tracksuits on and put their neon shades on and, like, show up in formation and play it. But Windjammers 2 is doing its thing. Of course, it was right next to Streets of Rage 4 because they were at the same booth.
That's correct.
Because, same fucking publisher and whatnot. And Streets of Rage 4, I got to sit down, actually. I played a co-op with... a gentleman from Famitsu, and we both went through.
Oh, yeah.
And this thing is cool, man. As a not Streets of Rage guy, because I didn't have the Segas.
I'm not a Streets of Rage guy either, I'll be honest.
Hey, what the fuck are you talking about? You never shut up about Go Straight.
Yeah. You don't need to even like Streets of Rage.
The amount that you talk about it makes me think that you are a huge Streets of Rage mark.
No, I'm a fan of the ability to make a good song out of the Genesis sound chip.
Okay, well, Axel and Blaze were in this, and the first thing that you notice when you start playing the Streets of Rage 4 demo is that when the characters walk out, they are super duper zoomed in on the sprites to show you how nice they are up close.
Sprite's really nice.
Then it zooms out.
Now you play the game.
Yeah. Streets of Rage mechanics are there. things that you would expect are there, and designs are all rad. And again, I'm not someone who's like has the level of like Liam's faithfulness to the franchise, so I couldn't break it down on like that level. But I can say that what was in there with the juggle possibilities and a couple of combo string interrupters made things really, really fun. You can grab dudes and throw them back to your boy so that he can juggle. You can do Blaze has her instant air like attack into dive kick, which bounces off the ground, which sets up for juggles, which you can then do a super or an air super. You know what I mean? Like, you have enough control in there to do fun juggling, and that's a huge part of why I would like complexity in beat 'em ups, because Sengoku 3 gave me a level of juggling fun that I never had before, and this is giving you some of that freedom. Double Dragon Neon also did similar things. Whew, I need some water.